night prepper pre-party show. Let me see if we can fix this just a little bit here. There we go. Maybe better. Yeah. Hey, as you guys are popping in, I'll ask you how my audio is. Got a little different setup today because I'm going to do some mail call and some unboxings and whatnot. But I haven't gone live in a few days, a few weeks actually. It's been a little busy. Holiday season's been busy. As you're tuning in here, if you're brand new to the channel, please consider giving me a subscribe. If you like prepping related topics, if you like silver and gold and financial preparedness, if you like camping, outdoor stuff, that's what we talk about here. It's good to be back live. I do feel a little bit rusty, so hopefully as we go, we're gonna dust off the cobwebs here, get this thing rolling. I don't think I'm gonna be on too late here. I just got a little bit of unboxing and mailing and whatnot. Hey, Titan Preparedness, it's good to see you. Do me a favor, if my audio is screwed up, guys, let me know. If it's got echoes or anything like that, I might be able to do something about it. Hey, Van City Preppers, good to see you. And I think I saw Stuart a little while ago. He popped in early. It's good to see everybody. Hang on one second. I'm just gonna Alabama Farm Life, good to see you. All right, and I got a little bit of news we're going to talk about tonight. Hey, Silver Oceans, good to see you. Actually, Silver Oceans, you are on the mail call here. Let's go ahead and start with Silver Oceans. Actually, he sent me a little card here. Let's check this out. Thank you guys, appreciate that. So yeah, I feel a little rusty. So if my flow seems off, it's just because I haven't live streamed here in a few weeks. All right, so we're going to use the Spyderco Tenacious. Nice little knife here. This is kind of on the entry level for Spydercos. You know, Spyderco knives tend to be pricey, but they're great knives. They're good little knives. But the Spyderco Tenacious is one of their kind of entry level models. I will, at some point, I'll get around to doing a review on that one. All right, Silver Oceans, let's see what you sent me here. I'll take it off screen here so I don't cut myself. Hey, K Titus, good to see you. How are things in Japan right now? Is everybody out there having a good Christmas? I hope or Hanukkah, if you celebrate Hanukkah, or whatever holidays you all celebrate with your family. I hope you're having a good one. It's been busy. I'll tell you that. That's why I've had to do a lot of pre-recorded content on Friday nights. All right. Silver Ocean says, thank you for all your support in 2021. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas right back at you, brother. Stack wide as the ocean. Y'all, if you haven't been checking out Silver Oceans, he has been on fire in 2021. He has, oh, look at that. All these different stickers from this past year. His content has been amazing. And one of the things about Silver Oceans that I can say is, like, if there's news in the precious metals world, this cat is on top of it. He's usually got it out before anybody else. Really cool channel. Check it out. I really appreciate that. Merry Christmas right back at you. And it looks like I got a new sticker from you. Y'all check that out. And your channel has just exploded, brother. I hope it triples next year. I hope it triples for 2022. All right, Heroic Prepper, good to see you. All right, next one. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's just been busy. It's been so busy. I've had, Charleston has a lot of cool stuff. Actually, I'll kind of pause here for a second. Charleston has a lot of cool stuff during the holidays. One of the really fun things that we do, hey, Her Healthy Homes, good to see you. One of the cool things that we got coming up next week is they do a boat parade, right? It's because we're on the ocean, so they do a boat parade. So people take their boats and they put Christmas lights on them. Silver Scorpions, good to see you. They put Christmas lights on them, and sometimes they'll play Christmas music, and they'll go around the harbor, and it's really fun. So we didn't get to do that last year because of the stupid pandemic, but this year we're going again. So if you're going to be in town next Saturday, you might just see me down there. All right, let's go. We got one from Bionic Fishy Fish here, Alabama Farm Life. Silver Ocean's good. It's good to see everybody. All right, so this is from Bionic Fishy Fish. Now, Bionic Fishy Fish, as you guys know, I throw a lot of shade his way, but it's in good nature. He's my frenemy, right? So he's my frenemy. Whenever you guys see me kind of bashing on him or throwing shade his way, it is in good natured fun. I love the fish. Fish is a good guy, and he sent this back to me a while ago. I've been meaning to open it up, but I wanted to do a little skit with it with Boba Stacker. and just time's getting away from me. So I've put this off for like almost a full month. I need to go ahead and open this. So the next one's from Bionic Fishy Fish. And after this, I'll give you a little bit of news from the silver and gold world. A little article I read. Kind of interesting. I think people who are into precious metals are going to find this story a little interesting. This is from Bionic Fishy Fish. All right. Sarge. Oh man, look at that. That's really cool. Here, I love the font. It's so cool. Here are a couple of my new stickers. You know what they say: keep your friends close and keep your frenemies closer. Good day from your fishy friend, Fish. I love that. I love that, brother. It looks like he sent me a couple new stickers here. Oh, look at that. If you all don't know, Fish is a veteran, and he's a paratrooper like my dad, which is actually how we started talking. I think that I had made a comment about my dad being a paratrooper and whatnot, and he was actually the first person to send me a channel mail call. And there's the camo sticker. That is really cool. So Fish, I know you're probably going to catch this on recap. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate your friendship. You've been a good friend to me. You were the first one actually to send me mail when I started doing this. All right. So let's go. Before I go into the next three here, I had a couple little stories here I wanted to talk to you about. So the first one was, I read this today. I don't know if anybody else caught this, but this is in the Wall Street Journal. The title of the article was, "A couple stored IRA gold at home. They now owe the IRS more than $300,000." So again, this is a good point for me to kind of insert here that I am not a financial advisor, not financial advice. I'm not giving you legal advice, I'm not giving you tax advice. You want to go read this article yourself. It's at the Wall Street Journal, and this was today. The author is Laura Sanders, and basically the what happened here is this couple had gotten themselves into some trouble because they had taken their money out of an IRA, and they turned it over to precious metals, and in process of doing that, they were storing the precious metals in their own home. Now, there's some really tight regulations about that kind of stuff. BM Log, thank you. Vlog, thank you for tuning in. So good to see you. Pilgrim Radio, so good to have you back, brother. I am so glad to see you back. There's some really tight regulations about that. You can't just so to be clear, nobody's saying you can't have silver and gold in a safe at home. That's not what this is about. But when you're using your IRA to do that, the IRS doesn't like that. So rather than get into the complications of trying to explain that, because again, I can't give you tax advice here, just be aware that there's some deceptive practices out there. And bottom line is, IRS wants their money. The government wants their money. They're going to come after it. And technically, and this is, I'm not telling anybody what to do. I don't do that here on my channel. I'm just kind of, we do talking points. You have to do your own due diligence. You have to make your own decisions about what you do. But technically, when you sell silver and gold, you are supposed to pay taxes on that, on the profit. So, if I know a lot of people in the community sell silver and gold on Instagram, on sometimes here on YouTube, sometimes on what's called eBay, other ways that people are doing it. Just be aware that the government is aware of that. They may not come for you right away, but you are supposed to pay your taxes. I'm not saying taxes are a good thing. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just pointing that out. Do your own due diligence, do your own research, and be aware that you can get yourself in trouble if you're not paying taxes on the profit. And again, Sarge doesn't care about your business. This is just a talking point. So if you want, don't give me a thumbs down on that. All right, speaking of which, while I got your attention for a second, if you could go into the notifications real quick and check to see if you're signed up for notifications. I got messages from a couple of my subscribers this week that they're not getting notifications, and that's happened to me before. So if you're watching this, live, or if you're watching it later on, if you don't mind, just check your notifications, see if you've got that turned on. Obviously, everybody that's in here tonight on the live stream, I know you got your notifications, so I really appreciate you. All right, let's go to the next one here. Thank you, Alabama Farm Life. I appreciate that. All right, so now I told you guys recently that I was going to be in the process of setting up with a new flashlight company. Okay, so this was sent to me from a flashlight company called PowerTac, and I'm going to be doing a review on this. Let's open it up and I'll show you what it is. And by the way, PowerTac, thank you very much if you're watching this. Bacon, it's good to see you, brother. Bacon, are you going live later on? Usually, if you guys don't follow Bacon, he usually does a live stream on Friday nights too. Usually a little bit late for me. I have to watch the recap, but Bacon's been really killing it with these streams. He's doing like 6-hour marathon streams. Successful Slave is an American. Okay, I appreciate you popping in. Thank you so much. Hey, listen, I can't advocate for that. I don't want to see any. Okay, cool. That's awesome, Bacon. I don't want to see any of my friends here go get into trouble. I really don't. All right, so this is the PowerTac Valor. I'll take it out of the box so we can take a quick look at it. And then, like I said, I'll do a review on this later on. This is 800 lumens. Now, I've said to you before, my minimum standard for flashlights is 90. So this is way past that. At 90 lumens will generally light up any room in my house really well, from hallway to hallway, and does a decent job on my backyard. Yeah, Oceans, I have a hard time too. Like after an hour, I start getting like kind of tired and thirsty and dried out, but Bacon can go for hours. So PowerTac, again, if you're watching this, I really appreciate this. I do look forward to doing the review on this. And they had said something about getting a discount code for my viewers. So I will make sure when I do the review, I have all that information for y'all. Just get this out of the way real quick. Get an idea of the size. Okay, so there's my hand to give you an idea on the size. And yeah, I think they said, is this AAA or AA? 2 AA. Okay, and so why this might make a good backpack, like an EDC bag flashlight, or a good get home bag flashlight, or a good bug out bag flashlight, is because AA batteries, and AA batteries are everywhere. Like you can find them if you needed to. So I look forward to giving you guys a full review on this. It's got a little bit of a bezel on the tip, not like really pronounced, so it's not super aggressive, but yeah, we'll check this out. It's got nice gripping, and it's got the double clip there. So I will give you more information about that when we do the full review. Thank you very much, PowerTac. All right. You started losing your voice, Oceans? All right, next one here is from our good friends at Wazoo Survival Gear. So you guys know I'm a brand ambassador for Wazoo Survival Gear. If you use coupon code Sarge 2021, you will get 5% off. I'll go back in afterwards and I'll throw my affiliate link in the description. I didn't do that before I went live. Now, I think I know what this is. Yep. Oh man. Oh, that's nice. That is really cool. That is really cool. Okay. So they sent me the newer version of the cash cap. And if you watched my video last week, this has got some serious upgrades to it. So let me kind of show you here. If you saw in the previous cash cap, number one, this now has a hook and loop closure. So it's much, much more easy to secure your stuff in there. See, it's kind of hard to do this because I'm behind the camera. What am I doing wrong? Hang on one second. Oh, okay. It was just hard. I was at a weird angle. So now it's got a hook and loop closure. So you can put your stuff in there, money, medical kit, fire starting kit, whatever. It's got multiple pockets. We'll take a closer look at this in another one. Now, another part of the upgrade here is you got the Hi-viz Orange. So if you're lost in the woods, you wanted to make a trail mark with that, or you wanted to try to signal if a plane's flying overhead, that Hi-viz Orange would be good. And this is a reflective tape. So that actually, if you shine the light, so like if I do a lot of solo camping and solo hiking, right? So if I go out of my tent at nighttime and I hang this outside my tent, right? Because I need to go use the restroom in the woods or whatever, just shining my flashlight, it'll catch that and reflect it back, and I can find my way back to my tent really quick. Okay, just as an example, some of the ways that can be used. I love this color. The other one that I have is a dark brown, and it actually looks like the material got a little upgrade too. I don't know if the camera's catching that, but it's actually got like ripstop stitching there now. Now maybe it had it before and I just didn't notice it because it was a dark brown, but that actually looks a little bit more durable. I really appreciate that, Wazoo Survival Gear. They're a great company to work with. I really couldn't be happier to be a brand ambassador for them. So I will go back in and I'll put my affiliate link in the description after we're done with the video. All right, let me give you the next news story and we'll check your comments here. I have a lot of beer powering my shows. I love that. Survival Dispatch just did a 3-part adventure. Oh yeah, I need to catch that. That's right. They went in the woods. Actually, it was I think it was Dustin from Wazoo Survival Gear went with them. And if it's what I'm thinking of, and they brought just Wazoo Survival Gear for 3 days. All right, so my next story here. Let's see. This one is the U.S. seized a record 1 billion of Bitcoin a year ago. Its value has tripled. This is from NBC News, NBCnews.com. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because there's a myth. There's a myth in the community that Bitcoin can't be seized. Absolutely can be seized. Absolutely can be seized. And I am not saying do not invest in Bitcoin. I invest in Bitcoin. I have some Bitcoin. I don't have a full Bitcoin. I wish I did. That'd be awesome. But I do invest in Bitcoin. So I'm not saying don't invest in Bitcoin. I'm saying if you think that it can't be seized, you are wrong. And so the article is, you go and read it for yourself. Do your own due diligence. I'm not, you don't have to trust me. It's NBCnews.com. Author is Ken Delanian, and it's dated today. And this was from the illegal activities going on Silk Road, okay, which was a online marketplace on the dark web where some legal legitimate activities were going on, but a lot of illegal activities were going on. People selling things that they shouldn't be selling on there and that kind of stuff, and Bitcoin was seized. And that's not the only time that Bitcoin has been seized. Okay, so it generally happens, from what I understand, when there's a criminal element involved, right? Like it's part of a criminal seizure. Sarge, good to see you. It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you. I still cannot comment on your videos, as you know. So Bitcoin can be seized. I just want to throw that out there. Do your own due diligence research. I'm not against Bitcoin. Like I said, I do. It's part of my portfolio, but I don't want people to continue spreading the myth that it can't be seized. That is absolutely not true. All right. Last one. This is another product review that I'm going to be doing. This was sent to me by Sproutman. Now you can find Sproutman on the, yeah, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. You're not wrong. This Sproutman you can find on Instagram. Now, if I said at the beginning of the year that this is one of the things that I was going to take on, and I haven't got to it. It's one of my goals that's not going to get completed in 2021, most likely. So it's going to have to roll into 2022. But Sproutman sent me some sprouting seeds, and let me explain what this is. There's a couple different ones they sent. Mung bean, salad mix, and power protein beans. So what this is, how this works, is you can actually, you take one of these sprouting bags, they send you the directions, and you put them in there, and you wet it, and you hang it, and they'll sprout, okay? And you can actually eat the sprouts, and they're super healthy for you. You can put them in salads, you can put them in sandwiches. In fact, if you've ever been to a salad bar, you probably have seen seed sprouts on there. They're tasty, they taste good. You can put them as like to add a little bit of like crunch, like a lettuce in a sandwich. But the reason that I want to make people aware of this is because part of my channel is about food self-sufficiency, right? So food self-sufficiency is gardening, it is foraging, it is canning, it is dehydrating, it is products like MREs and Mountain House and that Good to Go that I just did. I released that on Tuesday, the backpacking meals, things like that. All of that is part of food self-sufficiency. Mushroom kits. I plan to do some stuff on mushroom kits, hopefully in 2022. Again, it was a goal for 2021. It just got away from me. Doing the best I can, but I can't keep up with all these projects. So sometimes they have to roll into the next year. So this is a cool little project, and what you'll see, I think, is that the amount of food you can get out of just like a bag of sprouts like that, really, really good way to maximize your nutrients, your fresh food storage, which is different than like if you only have MREs stacked up in your closet for when times get tough, you're going to be wishing that you had some stuff like this because you're going to need some fresh food for your digestive system. Let's just leave it at that. All right. I actually, Oceans, I know somebody who works for the IRS. She is, she's I guess an auditor. I don't know. I don't know exactly what she does, but she also does as a side business, she does taxes. And as you can imagine, she's very, very popular because knowing somebody who works for the IRS that does taxes, that's the kind of tax consultant that a lot of people would like to have. I can't find the money for it on the black market. I think I missed something here, guys. Oh, all right. Just catching up on some of your comments there. All right. Let's see. I think I had one more little bit of news here, and then I'll kind of check in with y'all. Yeah, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to talk about this one, but I think I am just briefly. The Alec Baldwin situation. So, if you caught his interview, he was talking about that he says he didn't pull the trigger. He didn't pull the trigger, right? And so anyone who knows firearms, your immediate reaction was probably like, well, that's impossible because firearms don't just go off on their own. And for the most part, that's true. The thing is, the firearm on that set, on the set of the movie Rust, was probably like we were gonna have to wait until the court comes out with details on this, but was probably a replica of a revolver from the 1800s. I looked it up today and I forgot to write it down. Let me see. Hang on one second. I got it for you. Yeah, I got the story right here. Okay, so you can check this out later on too. It's called thereload.com. And the author is Stephen Gutowski. This was yesterday. The article was yesterday. All right. So the type of gun that he used was, dang it. All right. Well, never mind because I don't have time to look it up right now. But basically, for the hey Celine, for the older revolvers, there wasn't a transfer bar, right? So I'm going to try to explain this with my hands for people who have who are not firearms people, right? So let's say that this is the hammer, this is the cylinder where your cartridges would be, where your rounds would be, and this is a transfer bar. Now, modern revolvers have this transfer bar, and what that does is if the firearm gets jolted or dropped, that hammer can't hit the what's the word here? The primer. Sorry, can't hit the primer on the round, so it can't fire off. Like it's almost impossible for that to happen. The older ones, now what happens is when you pull the trigger on a double action revolver, the hammer goes back, and then the transfer bar comes down, and the hammer strikes the primer. Okay, and that's what causes the round to fire. Now, If this was an authentic replica, that transfer bar may not have even been there. So that means the hammer could have been actually touching the primer, and if it gets dropped or jolted or all kinds of things, it could have an accidental discharge. It's possible. Okay, so it is possible for older revolvers that don't have that transfer bar. It's possible. What I think probably happened after listening to that interview with Alec a few times is that he had cocked back that hammer, but didn't do it fully. Like he was holding it back with his thumb. Okay, so he was holding it back, and the tension on the spring is wanting to drive it forward. And because he didn't completely cock it back, it would have rested. And then when he let go of it, boom, hits the primer. So I think that's what happened. Now, who's responsible for that? Well, there's a couple of people that are absolutely responsible, but ultimately it's going to be up to a jury to decide. It's going to be up to the courts to decide. But, you know, anybody who operates firearms would tell you that several safety rules were violated. Number one, anybody who picks up or holds a firearm, first thing you should do is make sure that it's loaded or not loaded, right? Now, being an actor, he didn't do that. He trusted the people on the set, and this was the norm apparently for Hollywood. This is the norm, was that somebody else hands the actor the firearm and they say cold gun, right? So he relied on them to do that, and anybody who was a firearms person would have checked it themselves. So Alec's not a firearms guy. He's not a gun guy. He's just not. Okay. So then you have to take that norm into consideration. That again, it's going to come up to a jury. It's not going to come down to. It doesn't matter what Sarge thinks. It doesn't matter. It's going to matter what the jury decides. But I think that you're going to have a hard time finding 12 people that are going to convict him. Whether or not it was negligent, as a person who knows how to handle firearms, I would think it was negligent, but that doesn't mean that 12 people on a jury are going to see it that way. So a couple other things that were going on that set. Yeah, Sarge, exactly. I just saw your comment there. That's another safety violation, is even if they were filming, if it was a real firearm, not a prop firearm, not an airsoft replica or whatever, not something that can't fire a live ammo, you would never point it at somebody, ever. You just wouldn't. You assume the gun's loaded. You don't point it at anything you're not willing to destroy, and you need to know what's beyond that as well. So that's another huge safety violation there. Now, but the biggest thing here, right? The biggest reason why this is Sarge is an expert testimony. I don't know that I would say that I'm an expert. I'm giving you my opinion. I do, I know a bit about firearms. I wouldn't say that I would call myself an expert. Now, the bigger problem here is that there was numerous problems on this set. Okay, there's numerous problems with the firearms were not props. There was real firearms being mixed in with that they could use. There was, and then people on the set were taking those firearms out to the desert and plinking. And so somebody took that. This is what I think happened. Somebody took that firearm out to the desert and they were target shooting. And then what happens? They returned it to the prop cart. And then here's the real question: who was responsible for safety checking it at that point, right? Was it the armorer? Was it the props manager? Was it everybody? Was it everybody who touches that gun, right? So this is going to be a pretty complicated case. We're just going to have to wait and see how it plays out. I am curious as to whether or not it had a transfer bar or not, because if it had a transfer bar, right, going back to that, if it wasn't an authentic replica and it had a transfer bar, then there's no way, in my opinion, in my mind, that could have fired without him hitting the trigger. Okay, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. But I'm not going to be on the jury, so it really doesn't matter what I think. This is just talking points again. I'm curious what you all think. There's definitely safety violations here. There's going to have to be people held accountable. I do think that Alec, as being one of the producers, is at least going to be civilly held accountable. He's at least going to be financially held accountable. Why was there live ammunition on that set at all? Exactly, Bacon. There shouldn't have been. There shouldn't have been. That's and then it made me think of, some of you are old enough to remember Brandon Lee and that tragedy. You know, Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, was filming The Crow, and oh gosh, Brandon was so talented. Brandon would have been like the next big action star. He really was talented and had great on-screen charisma. He's fantastic in The Crow, but somehow I don't know the complete story on that. But somehow somebody got a live gun on that, and he's killed in the scene. If you've seen the movie, it's the scene where he's getting shot at by multiple firearms, and it's tragic. So you would have thought that at that point there would have been better safety protocols in Hollywood, right? So I told you guys before, I've played airsoft, and you can get a replica gun. You can get an airsoft gun that should be made so realistic that the immersion for Hollywood will not be missed. Only a very small fraction of the population will be able to tell the difference between, you know, a good prop gun and a real firearm. So there's no reason why, except maybe they were cheaping out or something. There's no reason why there should have been live ammo on that set. There's no, you know, except maybe security, I guess. No reason why they should have been plinking with those in the desert. There shouldn't have been those type of firearms on that set. It's a horrible tragedy. My heart goes out. My heart goes out to the family. It really does. And it's going to be an interesting case to watch. The one good thing, hey Bolo Bolo, one good thing that may come of this is thank you, Stuart's Prep. And yeah, if you guys haven't already, please consider giving me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I always love you guys. I have such a great audience, and some of you are here every time I live stream. I really appreciate it. I feel blessed. The one good thing that may come of that is that maybe there'll be some changes in how that stuff happens in Hollywood. It doesn't need to ever happen again. It really doesn't. All right, that's my rant. That's my unboxing. I appreciate everybody. What do y'all got coming up this weekend? Is anybody doing anything fun? I've got I don't know. I think I'm gonna film a little bit tomorrow. I did some, and if you've got something coming up this weekend, if you're releasing a video or if you're going live at all this weekend, go ahead and drop that in the comments below here. What time you're going live so people can check out your channel. And I encourage you all, you know, guys, I encourage you all to check each other's out. Thank you, Celine. I appreciate you. I encourage you all to, Sarge, I try. Family Prepper Man, it's good to see you. I try. I really do. I figure if I leave you those comments that YouTube takes away once in a while, then at least you know I was there. So I'll continue to do that because I know you at least get the notification before they take it away. So check out each other's channels, y'all. Great everybody in this chat. If you're not already subscribed to each other, great community here. In fact, I think everybody in the chat right now, as far as I can see, is their own channel, right? Yeah, I hear that, Sarge. I totally feel that sometimes, and it's frustrating. There's not good choices for competition either. You know, like I know some people are on BitChute and some stuff like that, but I checked all that stuff out, and it's not where there's not a big enough audience there for it to be a legitimate competition for somebody who's trying to grow, right? I guess that's how I'll say that. Yeah, I agree, Scorpion. Me too. I enjoy going out. In fact, I used to do competitive pistol shooting, where IDPA, which is where you kind of go through a course and they simulate movement. You know, like there's cardboard figures that will move across a window, things like that. And I had a lot of fun doing that. Unfortunately, in Charleston, there's nothing near me that does anything like that, or else I would still be competing. And I took some long range courses and stuff like that. I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun. But you got to be safe. You got to be safe. You have to learn, you know, the four big rules of safety, and memorize them, and so that like it just, you know, it's second nature to you. And it's a tragedy when something like this happens. You know, it is preventable. It is absolutely preventable. I appreciate y'all. Hope you have a great weekend. I hope you all are having a good holidays. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you for being patient with my rustiness here since I haven't streamed in a few weeks. But hopefully I can get it back. I feel like I have such an artsy fartsy channel. No, Celine, you have a great channel. I I love Celine's channel. She drives around Boston. She's got music stuff going on. She's got comedy sketches going on. When are you gonna do? Always put your, always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire, and always give your thumb a thumbs up when you're watching a friend's video. Um, the Celine, when are you going to do another one of your cleaning frenzies that you did? You did a whole series where it was pretty funny, where you were you like did a complete overhaul at your home, and it was fun to watch. You need to do that again. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all. Have a great weekend. Make sure you get out there, do some walking, enjoy the sunshine, get some love, get some fresh air out there, listen to the birds. I'm telling you, that's where I get my mental health. Please remember to hug your family. Time is short. You know, accidents can happen to any one of us. So appreciate your family. You all have a great night. Have a great weekend. I will see you again on Tuesday.